Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. I had been online at the Grandin Road website and I had seen these gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous garden eggs. And so I had been shopping at the Dollar Tree and I had been there for one thing and one thing alone. I just rushed in, rushed out. I had seen something out of the corner of my eye. When I had seen these fiberglass garden eggs, it just triggered what I had seen. What I had seen were these large eggs kind of stacked in a box, laying on the floor in the aisle. So put my coat on and I went back to the Dollar Tree and I snagged some of these eggs. And so let me show you what I did. Come craft with me. These gorgeous garden eggs are what I found on the Grandin Road website for $202.30 a piece. And what I had seen at the Dollar Tree are these jumbo plastic eggs. They are both 15 inches in diameter. The Dollar Tree eggs are plastic, whereas the Grandin Road eggs are fiberglass. But the Dollar Tree eggs are $5 a piece. They are 18 inches tall, and the Grandin Road eggs are 20 inches tall. For the price difference, I'm not going to let a 2-inch height difference really get me down. So I'm going to use Waverly chalk paint in lavender and pool and ballet slipper to cover these garden eggs. I'm going to use 2 coats and give them a really good coat of paint. I did paint them separately. I didn't put the 2 halves together, and I thought that I had a little bit more control of it if I painted them separately, and I just used a sponge brush and I just covered them up. I did not see any color in these eggs other than gold in my Dollar Tree. I don't know if they have them in any other color, and they had really not even put them on the shelf. Like I said earlier in my intro, they were in a box on the floor. I had seen them out of the corner of my eye, and I was in there for one thing, and when I seen these on the Grandin Road website, I was like, oh, I thought I saw them, and I just went right back out to the Dollar Tree and I snagged them up. They were, I guess, stocking their shelves and they hadn't even put them on the shelves, but I did go through the box and I did not see any other color but gold. I did make sure that I didn't get any paint on the lip where it snapped, the 2 pieces snapped together, because I did want to get a really good snap later on when I attached the 2 pieces, so I did not want to get any debris in that area at all. So I did make sure that I got to get my thumb there, and I was really careful when I was putting my paint on in that area so that I did not get any paint where the 2 eggs came together. I opted not to paint the very bottom. I did paint kind of around the round of the bottom, but I was going to set these out in the grass, and so I did not really feel like it was necessary to paint the bottom because the grass was probably going to do a little bit of damage to it. So I didn't paint the bottom. If you wanted to, if you're going to use these inside, then you might want to, have a more finished bottom to it. But I'm going to set these outside, so I did not feel that that was entirely necessary. But they painted like a dream. The paint went on absolutely beautiful, and it covered this gold metallic up really well with just 2 coats. I'm not going to bore you with painting all 3 eggs. I'm just going to show you the 1 egg, but I did, like I said, paint all 3 eggs in the most beautiful Easter colors that I could find. So I'm going to start this part by telling you I am not a painter, and freehand painting just makes me nervous, and it kind of makes me a little nauseous. But I got my little fine tooth brush out and the color maize out with my chalk paint, and I just kind of started freehand painting on a flower. There are people in this world who are blessed with great artistic skills. I am not those people. That is not something that the good Lord blessed me with, but I feel like anyone can do a very simple flower, and anyone can do, very simple, artistry. And so I just kind of did a little circle and did a couple, and I'm totally out of frame, but I just did just some round circles and kind of filled it in and colored it in. And that is just my very simple skill at painting. I did go in with some ballet slipper in the middle of the petals, and Donna gave a little bit of detail, and I just kind of went here and there all around my egg, and I just made some really pretty bright spring looking yellow flowers all over my Easter egg. I think that the worst thing that you could do in crafting is to not try something. You may not be the best at something, but you'll never know if you just don't try. And then if it does kind of work out and you do make something pretty, then you can be proud of what you did, and you stretched yourself and you went outside your comfort zone, and you can be proud of something that you did because at least you tried and you had some faith and confidence in yourself. If you've ever seen anything in the store, then you'll know that not everything that's hand painted in the store is absolutely perfect. I went in with some sage green, and I just made some little dots with my paintbrush, and I just kind of connected one flower to the next in just kind of an erratic little pattern. And I couldn't really figure out, it just took me a little while to figure out where I wanted my pattern to go and how I wanted it to lay. And then I just kind of started having fun with it. I did put the top and the bottom together so that my little lines would join the top part of the flowers and the bottom part of the flowers, and that everything would align up and everything would look just copacetic and line up all together and look like one piece. Now I made life easier for myself for this part, and anybody can do a nice polka dot with the little punch rounds from the Dollar Tree, the little round sponges. I just dabbed some into some sage green Waverly chalk paint, and I just set about making me some big fat round polka dots all over this little pink egg. I love polka dots. I think they look springy and happy, and I love polka dots. I think they're fun, and they're also very easy, and they're not stressful to put on. So I just made sure that my top and my bottom was on, and that I had, the two pieces together so that my polka dots would kind of join up, so I wouldn't have, my polka dots, some of them would be like in the middle of the seam, and everything would just be all nice and even. I did a little bit different pattern on the blue egg. I chose a curly QS. It's kind of a little backward S, and it kind of makes a scroll pattern. And I started off with some very large ones, and then I filled in with some smaller ones. I did a random pattern, and I just let my eye tell me where I needed to place the next S, or backward S, or scroll, or whatever you want to call it. And I did not make it a regular pattern. I kind of let my paintbrush fade out in some places. In some places the paint was a little heavy, but it's a really pretty pattern, and it's not hard to do, and you don't have to be a painter or an artist, or you can just kind of wing it and kind of have fun and just fill in the little holes where you need to with whatever size scroll that you want to. And kind of just, crafting needs to be fun, and you just need to have a whole lot of fun doing your project, and don't put a whole lot of stress on yourself, because when you stress yourself out, then you're not going to have a whole lot of fun doing what you're doing. So I just made sure that I filled in the top part of the egg with all of these little scroll patterns, backward S's, and I kind of, every now and then I would touch the brush into the little S pattern and kind of fill in and make some little dots. And I just went around the entire top and perimeter of the top half of this egg. When I got to the bottom, I took the top part off, and then I just started making some squiggly little lines. I purchased some of these little river rocks at the Dollar Tree. I purchased 3 packages, and I poured them out into the bottom, 1 package in each one of the eggs to give them some weight so that when I placed them outside, they wouldn't blow away. If you need to put a little bit more rocks in the bottom of yours, then, use your judgment. And I used some E6000. I went along very lightly along the perimeter of where the 2 eggs snap together. I didn't want it to bleed into or out on the outside of the egg, so I just put a very little dab. A little goes a long way when you're dealing with the E6000, so you don't need to glob it on. Just a little dot here and there is going to be enough for these to set up and have a very good permanent hold. And then I just snapped the 2 pieces together and let them dry overnight. Use your own judgment. If you feel like you need a little bit more weight, go right ahead. It just depends on where in your yard you want to put these and how much wind they're going to be exposed to. So I let them dry for 24 hours. They're nice and solid, and I'm going to Modpodge them with some matte Modpodge before I set them out into the yard. And then I'm going to let them dry another 24 hours and give them a good seal. I've always had very good luck Mod Podging the items that I want to set out in the yard. You can use polyacrylic, you can use whatever sealant that you are fond of and what works best for you. But I have used Mod Podge on wood items and all kinds of things, and I have had very good luck with Mod Podge. So I'm going to give them 2 coats of Mod Podge. I let them dry a couple of hours in between each coat, and then I did let them dry overnight. Now the next step I'm getting ready to show you is purely optional, and if I had it to do over again, I wouldn't do it. I only did it on a couple of the eggs, and then I went, ugh, I really don't like that. But I was sitting at my desk thinking about this project, and it occurred to me that maybe I could caulk around the seams and make it look a little bit more like a fiberglass egg. And so I came home from work and I put my work clothes on and I started with the caulk gun and I went around the edge of the egg. Now, it does caulk very nicely. I did paint. I did, put the green around where I had, caulked over the little polka dot, but it's not necessary. And I didn't like the way the caulk had dried. It did dry kind of crackly. I didn't think that it was a necessary step. I didn't think that it covered up the line as well as it could have. I did like the blue egg a little bit better. I kind of thought that it maybe blended a little bit better than the pink egg did. I didn't mess with the purple egg at all. So I think it's an unnecessary step, but I did leave it in the video to show you that I can mess around with my projects after I think that they're already done. And I did Mod Podge over caulked seam, but they are in my yard. I think they are absolutely adorable, and they are not $202.30 a piece. I made this project for under $20 for all 3 eggs, and I am so over the moon excited at how they turned out. I know each and every one of you have an aha moment in your life that you go, hey, I can do that, and just an inspiring moment where you can just go out and snag something and create something fabulous on your own too. So that's what I'm here for, is just to show you my inspiration and hopefully give you some inspiration of your own. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. Give me a thumbs up. I want to say hi y'all to all my new subscribers and welcome you to my channel. And thank you so much for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos.